There's a story most people tell themselves about welfare. It's a story of free money, of lazy people taking advantage of the system, a story whispered in headlines and shouted on talk shows. But that story is a carefully crafted illusion. The real secret isn't about who's on welfare. It's about the labyrinth of invisible rules, the hidden gatekeepers, and the one crucial piece of history that changed the entire game in America, a change most people have no idea even happened. Hey everyone, it's Ani from Legal Wealth, your guide to navigating the complex world of money and the law. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood topics out there, welfare. And stick with me, because by the end of this video, I'll show you how understanding this system is crucial, not just for those who need it, but for every single person who pays taxes or has an opinion on how our society should work. We're going to decode the qualifications, and you'll be shocked by what we uncover. First things first, let's get our terms straight. When people say welfare, they're usually picturing a check from the government. And yes, that exists. That's what we call direct economic assistance or cash payments. This is for when a family simply cannot make ends meet. The income just isn't there to cover basic survival like rent and electricity. Think of it like this. Your car has completely broken down on the side of the road. Cash assistance is the tow truck that comes to get you out of a dangerous situation right now. But there's a second door, one that's used far more often, indirect aid. This isn't cash in your pocket. It's more like a set of coupons and vouchers for very specific problems. These are the social programs designed to ease a particular burden, so your own money can stretch further. This could be help with your rent, getting groceries, or covering a doctor's visit. It's less like a tow truck and more like a gas can and a patch kit to help you get back on the road yourself. So, who gets the keys to open these doors? Well, that's where the maze begins. To even be considered for assistance, you generally have to get past 4 major gatekeepers. Let's walk through them with a real-world example. Meet Jessica. She's a single mom with 2 young kids. She works as a cashier, but her hours were recently cut. Gate number 1, the income test. This is the big one. Your total household income has to fall below a certain threshold. This isn't some random number. It's usually tied to the federal poverty level for your area. For a family of 3, that might be around, say, $25,000 a year. If Jessica is making $18,000, she passes this test. But here's a mini hook for you. What happens if she picks up a few extra shifts and makes $26,000? She might suddenly become ineligible for all benefits, even though she's barely making more money. It's a brutal cliff and a major point of debate in welfare reform. Gate number 2, special circumstances. This gate looks at the why. Why can't you make ends meet? The system recognizes that sometimes life just throws a devastating curveball. A huge, unexpected medical bill can wipe out a family's savings. If Jessica's son broke his arm and the bill was thousands of dollars, that's a special circumstance that gets taken into account. It's proof that her financial hardship isn't just about her regular paycheck. Gate number 3, household composition. The system is highly focused on the well-being of children. The number of people in your family, especially kids, is a massive factor. A single person trying to get aid has a much harder time than a single parent. Is the applicant pregnant? That's another factor that can speed up eligibility because the system wants to ensure prenatal care for the baby. For Jessica, having 2 kids is a critical part of her eligibility. Gate number 4, the hardship factor. This is about stability. Are you facing homelessness? Have you lost your job and are actively looking for another one? Are you underemployed, meaning you have a job, but it's not enough hours to survive? Or do you have a disability that prevents you from working a traditional job? These are the hardships that prove you're not just asking for a handout, but are in a situation where self-support is temporarily impossible. So, if Jessica gets past these 4 gates, what does she actually get? It's probably not what you think. Remember that indirect aid door? This is where most of the action happens. It's like a secret menu of support systems. For housing, Jessica probably won't get cash for rent. Instead, she might get a rent subsidy voucher, like Section 8, where the government program pays a portion of her rent directly to her landlord. This keeps her and the kids in their home and avoids the trauma of eviction. For food, she'll likely qualify for SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which used to be called food stamps. This isn't a blank check for groceries. It's an EBT card loaded with a specific amount each month, and there are rules. You can buy bread, milk, vegetables, and meat. You can't buy alcohol, tobacco, or hot, prepared foods. So, sorry, your gourmet lobster and champagne night will have to be on your own dime. It's designed for nutrition, not luxury. And here's a big one for a working parent like Jessica: childcare assistance. How could she go to work if she can't afford daycare? It's a classic catch-22. So, some programs offer vouchers that pay for all or a portion of childcare costs, making it possible for a single parent to actually hold down a job. This is often tied to medical assistance for the children, ensuring they can see a doctor even if their parent can't afford private health insurance. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this system seems complicated, but makes some sense. But here's the revelation I promised you. The welfare system we have today is nothing like the one that was originally created. Welfare in the U.S. was born in the 1930s during the Great Depression. Millions were out of work, and the federal government stepped in to create a national safety net. For decades, it was a federal program. But over the years, the narrative soured. Stories, some true, many exaggerated, of widespread system abuse created a massive public backlash. This led to a political explosion in 1996, welfare reform. This is the twist that changes everything. Control was ripped away from the federal government and handed down to individual states. The old program was replaced with something called TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. And the most important word in that name is temporary. Suddenly, there were time limits. In most cases, you could only receive cash assistance for a total of 5 years over your entire lifetime. And you couldn't just receive it indefinitely. The new rules required the head of the household to find employment within 2 years. 2 years. That's it. The safety net now had a timer on it. The goal was to break the cycle of dependency and push people towards self-sufficiency. Whether it worked is still fiercely debated today. But this single change, this shift from a permanent federal backstop to a temporary, state-run bridge, is the most crucial and most misunderstood aspect of the modern welfare system. This new focus on self-sufficiency also created a new category of benefits, ones designed to be a bridge back to the workforce. Some programs provide job training to help people gain new skills. Others offer tax breaks for low-income families, letting them keep more of the money they do earn. Help with utility costs can free up a few $100s a month to be used for a car repair, so you can get to that job interview. And for the kids, programs like free or reduced price school lunches ensure they get at least one nutritious meal a day, which is proven to help them focus and learn in school. Every one of these indirect benefits is a plank in the bridge designed to get a family from crisis back to stability. So, we've journeyed through the maze. We've seen the gates, the secret menu of benefits, and the historical twist that put a ticking clock on assistance. The secret of welfare isn't some grand conspiracy. It's that the system is far more complex, restrictive, and focused on temporary support than the popular narrative would have you believe. It's a web of rules designed to be a temporary bridge, not a permanent home. Understanding this matters. It matters if you ever find yourself in a tough spot and need to know what help is even available. It matters when you vote for politicians who will shape these very laws. And it matters when you have conversations with friends and family, so you can separate the myth from the reality. Knowledge is the first step to building real wealth, and that includes understanding the legal and social systems that shape our lives. What's the biggest myth you've ever heard about welfare? Did you know about the 2-year time limit on cash assistance? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. If you found this video illuminating, do me a huge favor and hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe to Legal Wealth and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Now, if you learned something truly valuable today and want to support the channel, consider sending a super thanks. Every bit helps us continue to demystify these complex topics. I'm Ani, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay informed.